Hello, algebra students. Today we're going to look at section 6.3, which is standard form. Now, we've talked about standard form before, but we're going to come bring it full circle. But let's do a quick review. We have slope intercept form. And yeah, go ahead and write these down. I know you know them, but go ahead and write them down. Is y equals mx plus b. You're given a slope and the y-intercept, and you can do a y-intercept form, slope-intercept form. And then we have point-slope form, which you'll remember is y minus y1 equals m times the quantity of x minus x1. Okay? Now, standard form, again, is ax plus by equals c. Now let's just compare these three forms just a second. Notice that in standard form, x and y are on the same side. That's the biggest difference of all. Standard form, x and y are on the same side. With point slope, y and x are on opposite sides. And so in order to get from point slope, I said that wrong. Slope intercept, y and x are on the opposite sides. In order to get from slope intercept to standard, just put x and y on the same side. Now with point slope form, we have to do some distributive property and all of that, and then it comes to here with slope intercept form, and then we can put it in standard form. So we're going to do a few examples like that. So let's say that I'm given y equals 3x minus 4, and I need to put that into standard form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the 3x to the same side as the y. So I subtract 3x from both sides. So we have negative 3x plus y equals negative 4. Now some of you may not like that negative right there, and that's okay, we can fix that. We can multiply everything by negative 1, so we could also do 3x minus y equals 4. Either one's okay. It's best if a is positive, but it really is okay either way. But let's do another example. What if I'm given a slope as a fraction, and I have y equals 1/3 x plus 2. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to multiply, I'm going to move the 1/3 x to the other side. So I get negative 1/3 x plus y equals 2. But in standard form, you cannot have any fractions. That's something that you got to remember. In standard form, no fractions. So how do I get rid of this fraction? And I'm going to make x positive in the process. I'm going to multiply the entire equation by the denominator, negative 3. If I multiply the entire equation by the denominator, I get rid of all of the fractions, or there's only one. Negative 3 times negative 1/3 is positive 1, so it's just x. Negative 3 times y is negative 3y, and negative 3 times 2 equals negative 6. So x minus 3y equals negative 6 is that equation in standard form. Well, let's say we're given something in point-slope form. So we have an equation that might be like y minus 3 equals negative 2 times the quantity of x plus 4. And we need to put this in standard form. So we're just going to get it so that x and y are on the same side. First thing I have to do is distributive property. Y minus 3 equals negative 2x minus 8. Okay? So now I'm going to add 2x to both sides to get to get the x and y on the same side. So it'll be 2x plus y. Remember, when the negative 2x crosses the equal sign, it becomes positive. Minus 3 equals negative 8. Because I still have that negative 3 that I'm dealing with on that side, and negative 8. Notice that y is positive, so y is added. So now I'm going to add 3 to both sides, so 2x plus y equals negative 5. Started with point slope form, and then I converted it to standard form. That's all we're doing today, converting. Let's do one more just to practice it, going from point slope form to standard form. So let's say I'm given the equation y plus 4 equals negative 2/3 times the quantity of x plus 5. Okay? Well, right now, instead of trying to multiply this and create some kind of crazy fractions, I could go ahead and multiply by the denominator first to get rid of the fraction. So I'm going to multiply everything by 3 now. And so I get 3y plus 12 equals negative 2 times the quantity of x plus 5. Since the x plus 5 is parentheses right here, and it's being multiplied by my negative 2/3 with distributive property, I don't have to multiply everything in there by 3. I multiply 3 times the slope, negative 2/3, to get negative 2, and that's all that's necessary. Okay? So now let's do the distributive property. 3y plus 12, well, that's not a 12, equals negative 2x minus 10. So now we're back to getting x and y on the same side. So I'm going to move the negative 2x to the other side, and it's going to become positive. So we've got 2x plus 3y plus 12 equals negative 10. So now I need to get the 12 to the other side, and when I move the 12 to the other side, it becomes negative, or I'm subtracting 12 from both sides. So 2x plus 3y equals negative 22. So I went from y plus 4 equals negative 2/3 x times the quantity of x plus 5 in point slope form down to 2x plus 3y equals negative 22. It's not a difficult process, but it takes a few steps, and you got to be careful. Again, no fractions in standard form. And here are your practice problems for tonight. The first one is, actually they all are right equations in standard form. So the first one, I'm given us an equation in slope-intercept form, and I need to write it in standard form. The second one, I'm given an equation in point-slope form, and I need to write it in standard form. The third one, I'm given the slope and a point. So you have to decide which one of those forms do I want to start with. I cannot start with standard form. Okay? I'm given a point and a slope. So which equation do I start with? And then from there, convert it to standard form. Make sure you take a picture of these and submit it through Edmodo using the turn-in button before class tomorrow.